Hiya friends, Prepared Suburbanite here. I'm sure that by now you've heard what has transpired during the day yesterday at Donald Trump's residence at Mar-a-Lago, Florida. And I'm going to follow the Dan Bongino rule here, and I'm not going to comment on what I think is going on until all the facts really come out. So I'm going to let the news cycle run its course. There are way too many unanswered questions and unasked questions about what was going on during the day yesterday. But what I'd like to talk about today, and I think Kevin McCarthy said it during the day yesterday, is that folks better watch out, because when the Republicans take control of the Senate and the House, that there will be some dues to pay, and there will be some accountability going on. So I'd like to get into a little bit of that, at least from my perspective, what I'm thinking right now, and I hope to encourage some comments from you on what you're thinking about what needs to be the very next steps after 2023. So, as far as the first order of business, come the time when the Republicans can take control of the House and the Senate, what do you think should be the first orders of business when that time comes? My thoughts are as follows. I think impeachment needs to be at the very top of the list. And I'm thinking that first needs to be Biden, and closely followed by Kamala Harris. She has done absolutely nothing to do anything that she's been assigned to do, that she's supposed to be doing, and the only thing that she's done of consequence is to cast the tying vote in the deficit or the Inflation Reduction Act just over the weekend. So that's it. Totally incompetent as far as I'm concerned. Should the Republicans be successful in impeaching Biden and removing him from office, obviously she would be the next president if she was still vice president. So I think if they could do it together, that may be a very good kind of a thing. Beyond that, I'm thinking that Merrick Garland, our Attorney General, should be removed from office, whether it's done with an impeachment or a special prosecutor. I think he needs to go. Chris Wray, the director of the FBI, should follow right along with him. And Alejandro Mayorkas, who is our Secretary of Homeland Security, he needs to be impeached and removed from office. The guy is an absolute loser. He's done way too many things wrong. He's ignored his responsibilities at the southern border. He's empowered cartels. He's empowered drug running. He's murdering indirectly thousands and thousands of people because the fentanyl is just pouring over our border. So I think he needs to go. We'll go back to Merrick Garland. There's a number of issues right now that he should be held accountable for even before the Republicans take control of the House and the Senate. His inability and unwillingness to protect the members of the Supreme Court when they were being harassed and harangued and threatened and with attempted assassinations, and he did not raise a finger to do any kind of protection at all. And that is a gross dereliction of duty. It's pretty obvious that they couldn't have pulled this raid off on Trump's residence without Merrick Garland and Chris Wray knowing about it in advance, signing off on it, basically approving what's happened. So there's a couple of really good arguments to get Merrick Garland out of his position as Attorney General. He's supposed to be the law enforcement czar in our government, and he has absolutely failed in his responsibilities. Beyond impeachment and possible special prosecutors that need to be done, and House committees and investigations and things like that, which I think will keep everybody busy come next January, there are some legislative initiatives that I think need to be addressed, and addressed very quickly. The Inflation Reduction Act, brand new, still hasn't gone through the full approval cycle yet, but I have no doubt that it'll pass the House and that Joe Biden will sign it, and we're going to end up with this absolutely huge mess that's not going to do a darn thing to address inflation at all. All it's going to do is provide subsidies and payoffs to all the green energy supporters of the Democrats, and I think that that's just a big, solid waste of time. And from a legislative initiative, I think that's one of the top items that should be on the agenda come this winter in 2023 to get this thing repealed and overturned. The assault weapons ban, I'm not 100% sure it's going to make it through the Senate right now, but excuse me. But if it does, that needs to be on the docket as well to overturn that. And there are so many executive orders that the current president has signed and put in place that need to be reversed, appealed, undone, overruled, whatever the right word is. But we've got to get this country pointed back on the tracks that they were meant to be on. The federal government has grown to be such a huge mess that we've got to return it to what the founding fathers envisioned as being a small government that works for we, the people. Beyond that, a little bit is we need to reinforce our southern border. We need to fund, take those 87,000 IRS agents and make them Border Patrol agents. That would, I think, go a long way to reduce the fentanyl stuff, the criminals that are coming through, the terrorists that are coming through, crossing our very porous border. So to complete building the wall, I think needs to be at the top of the legislative agenda. I'm a little perturbed and a little concerned about what I did. I was watching Fox News when this thing hit last evening about the Mar-a-Lago raid by the FBI agents. I guess there was 30 of them. And so I watched what Fox had to say, and it was obviously very one-sided, I think. So I had to get the other side, and I switched over to CNN, and MSNBC to get what their take on it is. And I honestly felt like slapping Rachel Maddow for that glib look on her face while she was encouraging people to go out and buy tomorrow's newspaper and immortalize it because it was the most important thing in the history of our democracy. And give me a break. But there is way too many unanswered and unasked questions about what's going on. So I'm going to reserve my judgments until after we get through a full news cycle on this, and I'm talking another 48 hours, another 72 hours, so that we can really find out what the heck was the driver behind this, who authorized it, what they were looking for, where the data came from. I am very, very concerned that if what I think is going on is really happening, we have already lost this battle. They are gunning for Donald Trump, and there's just no question about it. And if you watched CNN or MSNBC last night, you could tell how gleeful they were in their analysis of what was going on. I'm very concerned. I worked hard to get to this stage in life where I'm ready for the next. And I've been a prepper for a number of years now, and I would just have to encourage everyone in light of this news that you need to examine where you are with your preps, that you need to take a look at what you've got in the bank, how long you think it's going to last, and shore it up. Make sure you've got enough food, water, and security at your homestead to make it through at least the next 12 to 18 to even 24 months, because I think we're going to need it. This is the Prepared Suburbanite, reminding you to be prepared always, and I'll see you all on the next video.